Human being is a social being. He's affected by what he sees, what he listens, what he feels. So all these things affect that human being.
Okay. And there is something about now that we are youths and we are campus students, and we cannot negate the fact that we are growing into this world, into adulthood, and at one point we'll become parents. So what do you think is the right time for parents to start speaking to their children concerning matters sex? Mind you, I came across an article, and it was saying there's an island, the Tobrian Island, and in this island, children from 6 years, 6 years for the girls and 8 years for the gents, for the boys, they are allowed to have sex, and it's something that they consider it as a game, and even in this generation, if you look at into Kenya, people from even 3 years, I come across a 3-year-old child, and what they're speaking, you don't expect them to speak. So what do you think is the right time to introduce this topic to these people that are growing up?
Okay. In fact, I would say that's a very good question. I would say as parenting starts from day one when a child is born. Being guided on what to eat, what to drink, where to step, being shown this is fire, so we cannot wait until they grow up. We show them that this fire will burn you. You see? So we need to train them wholesome. And like a child is born into a very tempting generation, tempting environment. The TV is there, the phones are there. Now, it is the duty of the parent to guide the child right from day one, so that as they grow, they are guided using the simple language they understand. Because when you talk to a child about sex at the initial stage, the best thing you can tell him or her is that let nobody touch this side of your body, this. And of course, tell him the reason why. And then as he grows, don't walk maybe without clothes, because it is a shame, it is this. And as it continues, when it reaches to a level where you are able now to explain and talk about sex, you will have started a long way. But the problem we are doing is that because of the tradition and culture, many parents are afraid to speak about it. And those who have spoken about it have spoken about it without passing the right information. So it has really abused most youths to go astray because they have been given wrong information. Yes.
What would you advise for, like, in this generation we are fond of listening to movies, listening to music, watching movies? Like, does it really affect how we try to keep sexual purity?
Yes, that's another good question. I would say it affects because a human being is a social being. He's affected by what he sees, what he listens, what he feels. So all these things affect that human being. So depending on the music, if you are listening the music about love, you start taking your attention towards love. If you are listening music about God, you start loving God. It will lead you to pray. Maybe you find yourself, you put your knees down, you are praying or worshiping God. So that's where choice comes in. That if you are a Christian, make the wise choice. Get to Christian music, get the Christian company, Christian channels. That way your mind is not polluted, because you are a social being. And as much as you are born again, your soul, your mind can be affected depending on what you watch, what you see, and what you hear.
And we have known pornography as a very big issue in these generations. And actually for most people, I've come across many people who say they began watching pornography in their primary level. And we already know it's a sin. Like what is it doing to people that is making them in the aspect of degrading them as people, as a person, to the point where they become not operating in a normal way, even as a child of God, or even as a person, generally, even as a person?
Well, I would say that pornography is degrading what God created, because God created sex. He intended it to be done in an honorable way. But now, because of Satan, has polluted and disgraded even the humanity, because the pictures which are shown during pornography of men, of women, they disgrade that this is how it is being done, like animals. And yet these are honorable things that is supposed to be done honorably in a good manner. Now, because it is out there in the market being done dishonorably, it has abused God's what God really intended it to be. But for those who know, they can be coached, they can be counseled, so that it can be done still in the right way. Otherwise, it's a real big abuse, and it really needs to be discouraged, and the youths need to be taught that by so doing, it will mess up the time you want to get married. It will really mess you up, because you will have engaged your mind, you would have watched what things are supposed to be done. You may not get the same in your marriage, because you will still remember that what I saw, that's what I need to get. And yet the other one was tailor-made, it was doctored using all the technologies that are there, and you find it is not there. So it will really affect you if you're not careful. All you need to do is to come out of it, to abstain.
So I was reading a book, and the author was saying the time or whatever thing you choose to do at the time and with whom or with whoever person you choose to be with shows your commitment to sexual purity, to how you were trying to achieve sexual purity. So on matters pertaining lady gent, friendship or relationship, how far is too far? Like, where do we set the boundaries, and where do we draw the lines in these friendships that we have? How far is too far?
Well, it all depends on type of friendship, because friendship is a wide range. There's what we call casual friendship, where you don't need to know somebody in details, you don't need nothing, is to say hi. There are those friendships where you own one another, where you feel like this person, I owe him as a sister, as a brother, I am his brother's keeper, I need to be concerned. I never saw him in class, I need to find out where is he. There is that friendship whereby it is intimate, where you have struck an idea that we want to start relating, and the purpose of this relation, it will end in marriage. So, depending on a relationship, now if we can talk especially the one that ends in marriage, one, you need to put parameters, you need to put boundaries, saying, yes, we are going to relate, we are going to talk, communicate, but we are not going to have sex until that day when we are going to say we do. And for us to help one another, since we are human, we are going to set boundaries of our own, that we shall not be places alone, that we are not going to do ABCD until this happens. So it's all about how mature you are, so that because the boundaries you set, it depends on maturity. Then number two, it depends the fear of the Lord in you. Your maturity and the fear of the Lord in you, it will lead you, so that whatever you do it in the light, and it will please God.
And there is this topic on masturbation. And masturbation for many people, most of them who are engaging even in masturbation, the excuse will be that it's not hurting anyone. It's not even written in the Bible. And I'm just satisfying myself and all that. What would you say to those people that are deep into masturbation and they have such kind of thinking towards the same?
Well, I would say that is someone finds himself in a prison of his own. And I would say not everything is written in the Bible. And the ones that are written, it is one that covers so much that even masturbation is included. Number one, it does not just start. It begins with your lifestyle. Masturbation is led by a lifestyle. It comes from the thought, then it brings the feeling, then it goes to action. You know? So, what brought the thought? Maybe when this person was watching pornography. At the end of the day, the mind was engaged. Then the body was triggered. Then goes to action. So it's ungodly, number one. Number two, as one continues to masturbate, you continue to lose the strength that God put in you, which was supposed to be used in the actual act so that you can give birth or you can enjoy. Because that's what sex God intended it to be. So when you do it outside the ring, number one, you have violated. Number two, you have sinned. Number three, you have invited the demons that guard, the demons that are into this act to come in you, so that now you become violent, and before you know, the people who masturbate, the bigger statistics are shown, they end up being those people who will, what do we call them? The people who get hold of a woman or a lady and rape, they are rapists. So, in fact, the bigger percentage of rapists are the people who do masturbation. Because then you become so wild, you become like an animal, and you don't want to know who is who at what time. At times they even assume it's during the day or it's not in a hidden place. And it's when you ask them after the act, they say, oh, they also didn't know. So it's a demonic thing that need to be prayed against and to be avoided. Yeah.
So thank you for your insights. Maybe you just give us a parting shot.
Sure.
A parting shot to those who are pursuing singleness and those who are dating already. Like as we aim at sexual purity, we all struggle in different ways, in different perspectives. You can just give us a parting shot.
Sure. I would like to say that our God is faithful. The Bible says He has got good plans for us, and that technology is not an excuse for us to go against God, or because God has brought us into an open space and given us knowledge that even the people who lived long didn't have. And what we need to do, we need to impress technology. The technology, like we have social media, we can communicate with the people here in Kenya, outside. So as we impress technology, we need to make the wise choices that we can go to the right sites and use that technologies wisely, because we cannot afford not to have it. We have our screens, we need to decide what to watch and what not to watch. It's all about you and decision. And if you are living with the people who are young, then we need to use the same technology, switch off other channels, or go to switch off wrong sites, so that when they open, they find, depending on the level of their knowledge. And those who have reached maturity, because them you cannot switch anything for them, it's good to inform them. Let them remain informed, that it can be used for good. Just like fire is a good master and is also a bad master. It can be used for good, it can be used for worse. So you cannot say you don't need fire in that house. You need it. You need electricity. But you can tell somebody you can use it for worse, you can use it for better. So to me, to encourage this generation is that one, date carefully, and especially seek counsel. Seek counsel from those who are who are mature in the same field, and let them know what kind of relationship you are coming into, so that you can be given guidelines on how to go to those relationships. And especially those who are in the church, the fear of the Lord, knowing the Lord, praying will guide you. And for those who find themselves at large, who are nowhere, I want to say that relationship that doesn't have a purpose, at the end of the day, will have a lot of consequence. Because number one, somebody will get pregnant and will get a baby. That baby is likely to be aborted, and you'll have caused a sin in the process of abortion. Somebody will die. Maybe that kid also will be killed. Number two, you'll get sickness of various issues. It will cause death. So it has a lot of consequence if not controlled. So it's good to know that when you are getting into a relationship, it has a consequence at the end of the day. So all it needs to be done is that be guided and play it safe. If you must do it, play it safe at your own level. But abstinency is better, and waiting upon the right time. And finally, all this is brought about by idleness. We are busybodies, and God has given us different blessings. Engage your mind. Don't you ever be idle. If you can sing, sing. Read storybook. Walk. Look for a ball, go play. Look for a partner, walk. As soon as you engage your mind doing something, it's like you have engaged a gear. So when you try to bring another gear, it finds the other one is on. So the other one does not work. But as long as you leave yourself idle, maybe lying on bed, the devil starts working on you. Because the Bible says, an idle mind is the devil's workshop. Right.
Yeah, guys, as you have heard, that is what we have for you. And he that has an ear, let him hear. That is exactly what the Bible says, and there is much more. Go in search for it. Go in search for knowledge, and surely you shall get that which you desire. So God bless you. Subscribe, and we hope to see you in the next talk show. Leave a comment over there, and God shall bless you. Thank you.